Alright, hey y'all, I'm back with another anime Vanguards video. Today we're going to be seeing the max damage Wolfwood can get. And I think this might be like a little like series or something that I'm gonna do because I'm always like in the sandbox, always messing around with the units. And I've tested out a ton of different units, some units that I have, some units that I don't have. So let me know if you guys want me to make more videos like this and if you guys want to see max damage showcase from other characters. Now you guys are probably wondering, why do I have Monarch Wolfwood? I got Monarch on him in 8 rerolls, which is an insane luck. I think that's the lowest amount of rerolls it took me to get for a Monarch. Oh no, I got insanely lucky. I was trying to get Fortune on him because that's like the optimal trait for him, because you're supposed to run him next to Vash, but you know, I got Monarch on him, so I was like, you know what, let's just do like a max damage showcase. So I have all these buff units right here, and for Gato, I used the Dragon Slayer Masterwork on him. Then we have Rikia for additional support, and then we actually have Alucard, so he can apply Wounded, so he can get even more DPS. Alright, first let's talk about his kit and passive. So he's actually a pretty interesting unit. So if we look at his Memoria, the more units that are in his range, the more damage he actually gets. So he's like a pretty good like crowd control type of unit. And then if we look at his actual passive, the more hits he gets, the more damage he puts out. So this part of the kit is kind of good for bosses because the stacks does reset on a new enemy, but since you're only attacking like, you know, one unit, one boss, then he's just gonna retain the buff. So this unit is pretty interesting. He's like a boss killer and crowd control kind of unit. So first we're actually gonna spawn in like a bunch of enemies to get the 100% buff right here. So we're gonna do that actually. So we're just gonna spawn in a bunch of like fodder enemies. So we're gonna spawn him in. There's the Rukia buff. Here we go, 1 million DPS. So I think he went from 4 million to 7 million. So this guy's attack animation is really cool too. I do have my graphics quality down, so I'm sorry if it's like super lackluster. So his damage output is pretty nice. So there you go, back to normal. It was actually 5 million. So he jumps from 5 million to 7 million. So if we look right here, he's at 4 million, and then the Rukia buff is gonna kick in, and then the buff from his Memoria is gonna come in. So he's gonna go from 4 million all the way to 7 million. That's actually like so fun to see all the numbers just shoot up. It's actually placed Alucard, so he applies Wounded. So his EDPS should. Oh wait, I think he's over. So his EDPS could actually get a lot higher. Yeah, 2 million. Oh my goodness. The Memoria actually gave him a Z plus stat, so that's a 20% damage on the Memoria. Yeah.
Nice.
So as you can see, he just hit 3.3 million EDPS. 3.2. This guy's actually pretty cool. So yeah, this guy's pretty cool, but let's see how much damage he does against one enemy. Obviously, like in every match, he's not gonna hit 20 enemies because at the end of every like match, he's always gonna go against one boss. So let's spawn in one boss and see how much damage he does. Obviously, it's gonna be a lot less, but let's see how much. Let's actually lower the health multiplier here and let's apply the Alucard wounded. So of course, the damage it's a lot less because there's only one enemy. So he's at 700,000 DPS, and then we'll see his EDPS shoot up a bit from his passive right here. So he's at 1.1 million EDPS. 2.2. Let's see if he goes higher than that. That might be his peak actually. Oh, 2.4. We're still going. All right, so yeah, that might have been his peak, 2.4 EDPS. Yeah, so it looks like 2.3, 2.4 is his peak when attacking against one enemy. So let's see what I would call is a realistic scenario. So like in a realistic team, obviously like we're not gonna run all these units with all these buffs. All right, so let's just say like in an actual team, like if you had like Monarch Vash, like you'd run those two together. So the team would probably look like this. So he'd only be getting a buff from Urza and Rikia. So I guess like the max damage showcase video would end right here, but since this is my first time doing it, like I'll just add like a quote-unquote realistic part, like how much damage he'd be doing realistically. If you think this portion of the video is dumb, then let me know in the comments so that in the future like damage showcase videos I just like end it right here. But let's see how much damage he does realistically. So let's spawn in the fodder again. Alright, here we go. So only 5 million damage. Alright, so it's climbing up to 1.2 million EDPS, and let's put in Alucard so he can apply Wounded. Alright, 2.2, that looks like his peak right there. So compared to all the buffs where he had like 3 million, what was it, like 3 point something million EDPS, he just straight up lost like 1 million EDPS since he lost like so much buffs. Now let's see how much damage he does against one enemy. Or one boss, or a boss, I guess. Oops, oh my god. Oh no. Alright, sorry about that. I accidentally spawned in 20 Vegetas. It took a bit to kill them, but now we have, alright, now we just have one Vegeta, so let's spawn him in, and then put an Alucard so we can apply Wounded. Alright, so with just one Vegeta, he only has a 500,000 DPS, but his E DPS is gonna climb a bit right here, since he's building up his passive. Alright, 1.4 million, that looks like his peak right now. Yeah, 1.4. So I guess on a quote-unquote realistic team, that's how much damage he's gonna be doing against bosses, or one boss, I guess. All right, so that's all for this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like this little like realistic part of the video. If you think it's dumb, then let me know in the comments so I won't do it in any other future videos. Also comment down if you want to see like any unit specifically, whether it's a new one or old one. But I have like 2 or 3 units in mind that I will be doing. Alright, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!